A debit call from First. An inmate at the Lackawanna County Jail. To accept this call, press 0. To refuse this call, this call is from a corrections facility and is subject to monitoring and recording. If you are an attorney and do not want this call recorded, please hang up and call 570-963-6639, extension 4522, or extension 0 after business hours. Thank you for using Global Tel-Link.
Lackawanna?
Hey, how's it going, Aaron?
What are you doing there?
Your guess is as good as mine, Aaron. You know, just kind of spinning wheels here in Lackawanna. I don't know if the wait until after the election is over or what they're doing with me, but it's pretty weird.
Wow, this is nuts.
Yeah, I've been working on my appeal. I've been
Good.
got it backed up a little bit because I've been waiting. But what happened was this guy I've been talking to, one of my supporters, a guy named Shawn Christy. I talked to him a lot. Came through with a few things for me. And he was supposed to retain a lawyer from this guy named Evan Hughes. Last name is Hughes. He's a big civil rights lawyer here out of Philadelphia, PA. Fights police, corruption, all this stuff. Big name lawyer. And hearing about him for a year, supposed to get on the case. And then I guess Shawn Christy was supposed to pay his lawyer some money to retain him on my case, and he told that to me, told that to my friend. And I just called the guy today. The guy's like, no, well, I haven't received any money. But the lawyer's acting weird because I asked the lawyer, I'm like, well, can you just send me a copy of the contract? Maybe I can get the money together. And the lawyer just got some weird stuff going on. I don't really like what's going on, so I don't know who's playing games with me right now.
Whenever it comes to money, there's always games.
Yeah, and you know, it really is, Aaron. You know, it's really like, it doesn't make sense. And what's bothering me with the whole situation is, like, it doesn't make sense to me what's going on. And like I said, I mean, you know, I talked to this lawyer today. He told me, no, your friend is not even came through with any money. And my friend told me that he paid money. He told me that he has the credit card receipt. He told my other friend, he told her that, yeah, I paid money to his guys to be on the case. And he even told me that this guy was supposed to visit me last week and signed a contract with me. And I'm just getting different stories. I'm going to find out who's playing games. I'll find out who's playing games. And we've just had, we've gotten a lot of different stories from people about a lot of different things, and we fact check them and find out if they're not legitimate. And, you know, like, it's one thing if you just talk to somebody and give them a story, but it's another thing when I had my appeal held up waiting for something that might not have never been a reality. That starts becoming a problem, but see what happens with it.
Are there any good pro bono lawyers in this world?
Man, I'm trying. There's a guy up here. His name is Matt Comerford. I met a guy, Kurt Parkins, works with him. They've been doing all the big, like, lawsuits against this prison here. Because Lackawanna County Prison and Medical Department's gotten in a lot of trouble. There's actually there's a Department of Justice probe right now for that inmate that I told Rudy about that died a couple months back. There's a DOJ probe into the guards and the medical department here for what they did. So it looks like there's going to be charges against people in the prison federally. So prison's been getting in a lot of trouble. So I might try to reach out to these guys because they, I know they do court-appointed work and they do lawsuits for people. So it might be better than trying to play games with this hot shot down in Philly. Because I don't know what's going on with it, but it's weird.
Yeah. I'm sorry I missed your birthday. I didn't even realize it was your birthday.
That's okay. Yeah. I'm losing track of time in here, and I've been locked up so long on this nonsense. I just lose track of time. I beat these issues and beat them, and it just comes down to nobody wants to charge law enforcement. Get this stuff they should have been doing it. Like, my questions don't come down to, we have this election coming up in, 9 days. And, I want to see what happens after the election, because I don't see Trump winning. I don't think he can pull it off. And I want to see if anything changes after that happens. I want to see if we get a new U.S. attorney in here and change what changes on my end. Let me know what was actually going on and what wasn't going on.
Yeah. Well, I think the election, I think it's all a bunch of hooey and a circus. What's your actual birth date so I can update the website?
October 20th, 1991.
91 20th. Okay, good. Yeah, we like to, a lot of people fast on the prisoner's birthday and they send letters or cards if possible.
Yeah, that's always nice to do. I mean, it's nice to network with people. I mean, it's always
Well,
people do that.
the way I look at it, what I have to say is not much, but at least your name gets called at mail call.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's always, like I said, it's always, it's always nice, and it makes people feel accepted. I said people work together and things happen, I mean, it's just, it is what it is, people work together, people come together. It's like this situation that I had, It's one thing if I turn around and say, hey, this happened. It's another thing if I turn around and say, hey, I have it on a recorded phone conversation, because they can turn around and lose their call records, and all of a sudden, GTL, we don't have that record anymore. It's another thing when I talk to my family, I talk to other people I talk to, and they get the same stories. And, you tie, after a while, when people keep telling tales, it gets obvious. And then I say, well, why are you telling tales? And then, it comes down to the point that sometimes, like in the state of Pennsylvania, we have harassment charges. And if somebody's telling me a tale, they can be liable for harassment and criminal penalties. And all I have to do is file a form with a court to get that process going. So it kind of comes down to a problem of what's going on, why people doing what they do. And like I said, Aaron, I want to see what happens in the next 8 days. Because, like I said, I've been through the Obama administration, I've been through the Trump administration, and little things change after elections. Like you get new U.S. attorney, you get new people. So see what happens.
But the problem is they all swear an oath to hold up man's law over God's law. So they can't be Christians, in my opinion.
No, I mean, we can't follow the Bible in America, because if we did, we have to follow biblical law. And if you read even the New Testament, it says not one tittle of the law is changed.
Yeah.
The Old Testament law is still in effect.
Yeah.
And, when you look at that, hey, back in the day in the Bible, when situations got this out of hand,
there was no prisons.
Yeah, well, they didn't have to, because when people did things that were really bad, people got cold. Okay, that was pretty much the punishment when you did something that was really bad.
There's no restitution.
Yeah, I mean, because that's the problem. People either paid it back or people got wiped. I mean, you look throughout the Bible, man, see what happens. People did bad things, but nowadays people go to jail, they play good games, and they do what they do. I mean, if that system is better, maybe it's better, but it's, I don't think our country's gotten any better for it. And
It's terrible.
You got the white militia people that are fighting for the cops, like the Proud Boys. You got the white militia people that are fighting against the cops, like the guys in Michigan. And then you got the blacks who are fighting against the cops. And you got the whites who are fighting against the blacks. And I say to myself, well, I don't like my Confederate flag being a symbol of hate. I don't think that's a good portrayal of it. Because at the same time, my problem comes down to the thin blue line and what the cops do, because the cops cops are fighting for the present government. And
The banks.
I'm not going, yeah, exactly, the banks. I'm not going to sit here and start fighting with the blacks. When it's not the blacks keep me in here, he keep me in here. It's the courts, the DAs, and it's the Kimberly line, and it's a lot of cops in my case. Get a lot of cops like Deputy U.S. Marshal Nick Hennevig, okay? His full name is Nicholas Hennevig, okay? Or guys like Special Agent Jeffrey Youngblood, or guys like Pennsylvania Attorney General's Officer Leo Securta. All these people did apply. People like FBI Special Agent Alan Jones, people like FBI Special Agent Ann Kirkland,
They're all white people.
Exactly, they're all white people. I mean, except the only guy on the I got to bring up was Eddie Garcia. He's like a Puerto Rican token. And the FBI office that have one person from color. But I mean, it's like, these people just, they lie. They do bad things.
Yeah.
There's no accountability. And like I said, I'm just really interested because, like I said, I want to see what happens after the election. Like I said, the things I like about Trump, the things I don't like about Trump. What I don't like about Trump is when I look into the people that he rolls with, like Morgan L.A., one of the people in my case, and some of the cops. I don't like everything of what I see. And, the problem with Trump went back to the mafia years and years ago. A lot of people never looked deep into his history when he was a business guy in New York. So we'll see what happens. I mean, like I said, I got it today, like I said, I've been talking to this guy for a year now, and I was having to hear stories. And I talked to the lawyer today, and the lawyer said, hey, I haven't even received payment. So why is the lawyer going to lie to me? I'm not going to get into a fight with the lawyer. I'll just contact him, and I'll go probably to disciplinary board of PA, the Bar Association, and file a complaint against him. And then he can put something right in as to what happened. You just stay on people long enough, and your stories fall apart after a while. It's kind of like what I did with the FBI. The FBI was giving my parents stories. Stay on when your stories fall apart. So, I mean, it's interesting, U.S. Attorney here, David Freed, was appointed by Donald Trump. And the guy who prosecuted me, Frank Semple, was a big presidential historian, big Republican, big all that. So we'll see what happens when the regime changes. Like I said, Trump ain't going to make this election. I don't think he could rig the voting machines. I think it's going to be about a 60-40 split. And I think he's going to go to Biden. Now, I don't like that because I can only imagine the gun control laws that would go and get it. Trump did his own gun control. I mean, Trump took away the bump stocks. So they both work the same game.
Well, I read a post this morning, and I don't know what it means exactly, but it says Trump wrote an executive order and told the ATF to stand down on gun confiscation, and they're calling AK-47s and AR-15s and other guns. I don't know. Something's happening with that today.
I mean, here's the thing, right? An assault rifle is an assault rifle. Okay, a lot of people don't know the difference, but a fully automatic military assault rifle is a lot different than a civilian semi-automatic sporting rifle. Excuse me, bad sinus today. But, the problem is that at the same time, there is a lot of differences between the two. The weapons you can buy them civilian market are extremely deadly. I mean, AR-15 semi-auto is deadly, an AK semi-auto is deadly. I mean, there has to be like an understanding with that. But, the problem that I have with Trump is Trump did the only ex post facto gun control law that I know in federal history. He did a bump stock ban.
Yeah.
They didn't go forward. It's not like the 94 assault rifle ban. That ban was only going forward. This went backwards. Now that's really dangerous because you could turn around tomorrow and say, well, every AR-15 has to be confiscated because it has a flash hider or a bayonet lock or a 30-round magazine. And they can make that ex post facto too, and a lot of people don't realize that they go on this Trump dope of thinking that this guy's really like a Republican when they forget that he's a New York businessman that worked with the Italian mafia to get to where it's at. So people kind of forget about that. They push that on the drug, but you know what I mean? Either way, Aaron, like I said, we're on bad streets, and at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if people have guns. Nobody in this country would use good guns anyway. So we like the cops run wild, we like the judges run wild, the politicians run wild, and they scream that we're free and we've got all these guns. And I don't see freedom in America. I don't feel freedom in America. And there's European countries that have way more restrictive gun laws and have more civil liberties than we'll ever have in this country. Mm-hmm. So I think a lot of it is just stuff for the weapons manufacturers to make money. Because at the end of the day, if people want to fight the government, they're going to get guns at the end of the day anyway. I mean, they're not going to get them legally. Mm-hmm. And most of the guns that you have, they set it on an uneven scale, because you got a lot of civilians out there with the semi-auto assault rifles that believe in something that was marketed to them, not knowing that the military and the police have a solution to that problem. That people figure it out on their own. But hey, I'm gonna work on this little lawyer issue today, and then I said, like every lie eventually comes to the surface. So see what happens with it.
Yeah, we are in interesting times, that's for sure. Hey, does time feel like it's going really slowly for you, or no?
Time is just cruising. I mean, like I said, I don't pay attention to dates or things. I really don't. I don't take it personal for what people are doing on the outside, because I've been screwed over by enough people that I know I don't take anybody's advice, and I don't pay attention to people on the outside. And I just know that if I ever do walk out of these doors, the things are going to be a lot different in the way I deal with people, because I've dealt with people and I just don't like what I've dealt with. And I just, the only person I can change is myself. And at the end of the day, I don't have to associate with anyone. And when I walk out of here and people are saying this or that, it's like, no, I just don't want to be a part of it, because I've seen the light, and I've just seen how, it's funny. If one or two people stand up, it's one thing. If you get a couple people to stand up, it means a lot. And, if even 6 people that knew about what happened to me got together and stood up, it could make a difference. Like, I don't even have to stand up all the way, to stand up a little bit. And I'm not talking about armed revolution against the country or anything. I'm just saying, take out your recorded phone calls, take out your text messages, and put them on a blog page and make it a public page. Or go to another country's server and route it as a blog page and put it out there. And there's information out there to get me free tomorrow.
Yeah.
And nobody wants to do it. People like the pensions, they like the retirement. And you know what? If they like the pensions and they like the retirement, when this country falls apart, because it's going to fall apart, they'll find out what the pensions and the retirement are, because it doesn't matter.
That's going to be a sobering day for them.
Oh, it definitely will, because here's the game. If Trump gets another 4 years, the Russians are going to come over here, okay? If Biden and Kamala get another 4 years, the UN's going to come over here. So either way, we're not going to have America anymore. And I'm at this point now, and I'm kind of glad for that, because I'm tired of debating about the Constitution and forefathers and all this stuff. And I'm tired of it. I don't want to talk about sovereign law anymore.
No.
Contract, this and that. I want freedom. I want actually a society that I can live in and feel free and have my rights protected. And I want a society where there's justice, that if somebody does something, that government will come together and put them down and put them away. And we don't have that in this country. I mean, it's the same country that you can take somebody like Breonna Taylor, and you can basically have the Postal Inspection Service give false information to the cops, and the cops can go in and kill this woman on a no-knock warrant based upon falsified information. And we can get into black or white argument. But this woman was an EMT officer. She went out and she spent her days saving lives of people. Okay, she was a first responder. She went out, saved lives of people.
Wow.
And she got her life taken. You know why? Because the cops went in on bad information. And
you have 1 minute remaining.
There should be a federal indictment against those cops. And an attorney general in Kentucky who was making her case a political issue with the RNC, they need to take him out of power. because it's not the fact that he's black, it's the fact that he's a clown. But, like I say, that's my 2 cents on it. But,
well, we're glad you called, and it was good to hear from you, and I hope you get some peace soon and get out of there.
Yeah, like I said, I hope so too. And like I said, hopefully by next week, like I said, I know somebody's going to be getting some private criminal charges filed against them by next week. So who it is depends. But I got some funny stories today. So, hey, God bless you, Aaron, and I'll be in touch.
You too, Shawn. Thanks again. Bye.
All right, bye-bye.
Thank you for using Global Tel Link.